Welcome, everybody, to the River City, Richmond, Virginia. Tonight, we have an SEC A-10 matchup as the Rams of VCU host the Commodores of Vanderbilt. Next on CBS Sports Network. Well, they're expecting a sellout here tonight at the Seagulls Center. VCU 4-2. The Commodores of Vanderbilt 3-3. Jerry Stackhouse, his fourth year as the head coach at Vandy. 42-57 so far, coming off the year in which he was 19-17 last season. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. We mentioned during the open, a little bit of a surprise that Ace Baldwin, despite having a couple of screws in an injured right wrist, will start tonight for VCU. He's their best player. There's no doubt about that, and that certainly will be accentuated here tonight. Mike Rhodes said, listen, he wanted to play the day after the injury, but we couldn't. We had to make sure that he was physically okay. He is. All right, Walk, let's take a look at your keys to tonight's ball game.
Yeah, no question about it. You're watching this game for VCU. It comes down to really points off turnovers. Can they get points off turnovers? They usually force 18 turnovers a game and limit paint touches from those guards for Vanderbilt getting in the lane. And Vanderbilt's got to handle the pressure. VCU's going to come after you early and often, and Vanderbilt has got to get back in transition because, Tom, VCU struggles to score. VCU struggles to score at times from the perimeter.
Oh, here we go. Jeff Clark is at center court. He's got the basketball high in his air. Liam Robbins and Jalen DeLoach jump at center. The tip controlled by VCU. Keep an eye on this matchup. Magnon for Vanderbilt against Ace Baldwin.
Yeah, Magnon is a pesky defender, but he's got a tough customer paying Ace Baldwin.
Ball's knocked away initially by Wright. Picked up by Watkins. None up top. Still time of the shot clock, and Johns drops it out of bounds. Mike Rhodes talked about that. Some unforced turnovers for VCU.
Yeah, unforced turnovers. They talk about what's stopping them. They're so anemic on the scoring end. They need to score baskets. Even though they're good at taking it away from you, they got to convert some of that into turnovers, those points.
The VCU averages about 64 points per game. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt averages nearly 69 a game. There's the pressure defense by VCU. Watkins, right into the paint, off the front of the rim, no good. And Johns with the rebound.
They're going to try to get in that lane all game long. It's what Jordan Wright, Tyron Morris, that's those guys are very good at doing.
Watkins up top, covered by Wright, try to get some separation. DeLoach, they think they can turn DeLoach over, and DeLoach is fouled going up. No, it's a traveling violation. Excuse me, little slip on the floor.
Yeah, you want to make him put the ball on the floor. Again, with that stingy defense, maybe he'll turn it over like he did before, but he's not going to pass it.
Yeah, Jerry Stackhouse said that today. He said, listen, we can turn him over, and that's why they wanted to make sure that they were aggressive against him defensively.
I always say there's a reason why you're open from that.
That's true.
That distance driving the basketball. That's not what DeLoach does.
Right covered out front by Watkins. Shot clock down to 10. Magnon looking into Robbins. They want to work through their big man, Liam Robbins. Shot clock is at 5. He's an excellent passer. Three-pointer is good. Nothing but net. Now, that's exactly what we talked about during the open with Studi.
Hey, Tom, there's just no excuse for that. You got to find him on the weak side. You're talking about 7 threes versus Temple. He can really shoot the basketball. No excuse for that.
Double figures in 4 of the 6 games so far this year. DeLoach gives it up to Watkins. Watkins kept his foot. Robbins is going to be called for that foul. All right, so let's look at Studi getting open here.
Again, who's on the weak side? Again, Brandon Johns is caught ball watching on the weak side. You got to find him at all times. There's no safe distance. Once he gets in the gym, he's within range. He's the best returning three-point shooter. He's red alert anytime he's in the game.
Watkins to the free throw line, 62% on the year, and he misses the first. As a team, VCU 69% for the free throw line.
Last year, they were a very good defensive team, one of the best in the country, and they still struggled to score the basketball. So, again, points off turnover, and turnovers are huge for them, and so is getting in transition.
You see the pressure right out of the gate. Magnon able to bounce right off DeLoach.
He got lucky with the travel there.
Magnon taking over the point guard duties from Scottie Pippen Jr. And Magnon along the baseline bumps. Oh no, he's out of bounds. The turnover forced by VCU.
Thought that was close to being a a block, but y'all know Magnon's a driver. He's going to drive the basketball. You see him getting right there. Good job by Deloach. Jeff Clark, official on the baseline, said it was no call.
And we talked to Jerry Stackhouse today about Ezra Magnon and just what he has been able to take over. He said, listen, he works hard, he listens.
Tom, you need leaders out there.
Yes, you do.
You can't be looking to shoot the basketball. You see Johns, he's been struggling from the three-point line, but he does everything else well.
Ball is out of bounds. It will remain with VCU. 20 on the shot clock. All right, so 3-1. Last year, Vanderbilt only scored 37 points in this game. It was the lowest in Jerry Stackhouse's 4 years. There were games in the NBA where Jerry Stackhouse scored 37 points.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one of the key things was the main, as we talked to Jerry Stackhouse about their main ball handler was also their main scorer.
Yes.
So it was hard for them to score the basketball. You'll give VCU some credit. They're very good defensively.
Watkins tries to go up top to Magnon. He'll reset the offense. 3 minutes into this first half. VCU out of the Atlantic 10, Vanderbilt out of the SEC.
Yeah, that's just a bad match right there. Somebody missed an assignment. They were either supposed to switch. They both with the ball handler, who's not a shooter. You know what I'm saying? You switch that, you stay with Studi.
You knew that was going in as soon as he touched it.
I saw the play coming. He plays the 4 spot. He's going to pick and pop.
Well, he has all 6 points. Watkins trying to go to the corner, gives it off to Nunn. Johns, and now Ace Baldwin.
They had a pick and pop situation with Baldwin and Johns. If they actually switched, and that's the way you play Studi and Magnon.
Lawrence able to bring it up, working off the screen set by Robbins. Lawrence loses control of it, and a foul will be called on Robbins.
They got to drive and kick that situation. Right into the traffic, make the pass. See there, they got caught up, leaving Studi wide open. Somebody's got to rotate on the weak side if that's the situation as well. Somebody on the weak side missed their assignment. But there's absolutely no reason for 2 guys to go with Magnon because what he wants to do is get in the lane. Studi is a more dangerous player.
And by the way, Robbins checks out with that foul. Melora Brown, local kid who won a state championship here at VCU. Baldwin's 3 is good. They called it a 3. His feet were beyond the line, and that's his first bucket of the night.
That's a welcome sight.
And Studi dribbles it right on out of bounds. It'll be VCU ball. We've reached our first media timeout. 15:47 to play. Here in the first half, it's a 2-point lead for Jerry Stackhouse's Commodores. Well, back here in Richmond, Virginia, VCU and Vanderbilt. It's a 6-4 Commodores lead, trying to get to their 4th victory of the season. Miles Studi has already made 2 threes, and look how important it is for him to get those threes and how much that's helped the Commodores.
Yeah, the thing is, you got to give Coach Stackhouse credit for finding ways to get him threes, and we've seen that already by throwing it into the post and skipping it opposite, and then a pick and pop situation. But he can really shoot the basketball, and I talked about this in the overtime. He shot 18% as a freshman. That's market improvement. They had Scottie Pippen Jr. last year, and he waited his turn, and this is his turn.
Yeah,
and he is shining.
So 2-point lead. VCU with the basketball. Ace Baldwin bringing it up. Into the game for the first time is Zeb Jackson, the transfer from Michigan. One of 2 transfers from Michigan.
Zeb Jackson got away with an errant pass there.
Johns along the baseline, tried to slide his way through.
You know, in the closeout situation, Johns is so versatile. Even though he's not shooting well, you still have to honor him because at some point he can knock them down.
By the way, that foul is called on Melora Brown, so he has 1. Robbins is on the bench with 2 for Vanderbilt, so those are the 2 bigs. Jerry Stackhouse did say that he wanted to play both of them at the same time tonight. That may not happen here in the first half, as Schreiber is called for the traveling violation.
The Schreiber's used to catching it behind the line, Tom.
That is true. Yeah, he's more of a 3-point specialist. Great story, though. Number 35 started at Division II, went to Hartford on a transfer, and then when Hartford went down to Division III, he came here to VCU.
He can really shoot it. Can't leave him open. 35. His 40 attempts are from 3 this year.
Melora Brown Now to Lawrence. Lawrence trying to get some separation. Shot clock is at 5. Lawrence, little shot fake over the top of Zeb Jackson. Nothing's there. And that's an easy rebound for DeLoach.
That's what they do. They suffocate that line. They have length. They may not be the biggest team, but they're extremely long.
There's Shriver for 3. It's good. That's a good sign for VCU because he's been scuffling from beyond the arc.
Definitely, again, one of those players that he can get hot at any time, particularly being at home. You got to find him and get a hand up.
He was out here before the game. He was shooting for at least 45 minutes from all different spots. That ball's kicked into the backcourt, so it's going to be a violation. This is a 6-0 run for VCU. Take a look at this here.
Ace Baldwin, all the credit. Him coming back helps them. A little pitch and catch and drive. Somebody's got to get there. Somebody's got to know. You got to, again, start, but stay with the shooter. Force Ace Baldwin to make a layup in the lane. Sometimes you got to give up the 2 to negate that 3.
Yeah, another turnover forced by VCU with the basketball. Magnon covering Baldwin. Baldwin from 17, and he's going to go to the free throw line. That foul's going to go against Magnon.
Yeah, there's no reason to foul him on a jump shot. But Tom, how big of a difference does he make coming back? Just a tough, just stay in front of him. He's already coming back from an injury. Now it's his offhand, but still force him to get comfortable and make some shots.
Makes the first free throw. As Chris mentioned, it is his offhands. He had 2 pins put in. He injured his wrist even during high school and had a cast on it. And to play in a state tournament game, he cut the cast in half.
Tougher than me.
8-0 run. And then Baldwin's going to be called for the foul as Magnon got past him. 3-point lead.
VCU just puts constant pressure on you. They're not always trying to steal the basketball. Sometimes they steal it from you. Sometimes you just throw it away because that's what pressure does to you.
Studi for 3. He's no good this time. Ball loose. Taken out by Zeb Jackson. He'll run the point now that Baldwin is on the bench for VCU. 14 minutes to play, first half.
This is another guy that gives them size. They don't have bigs inside, but they're all long.
Jackson up top, peppers the arc, and then it'll be a turnover for VCU. That's the 3rd one where it's basically unforced for the Rams.
Yeah, just got to be smart and a little bit more heady. Nick Kern there, unaware of stepping on the sideline there. See Trey Thomas coming in. He was injured for a while as well.
He was out with a knee injury, but practiced today. Look, he's got the brace. He's number 12 for Vanderbilt. Lawrence brings the ball up. Furman, well, he let Melora Brown just go right to the basket. He laid that in beautifully.
That's the 2nd time off a ball screen. Again, they had the pick and pop action. There was a pick and roll. Somebody on the weak side is not knowing their coverage.
Jackson goes inside for Furman. Furman working against Melora Brown, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
Freshman mistake there. He just put his shoulder down. He called the Jeff Hart. See, somebody's got to be on that weak side. Somebody has to be on the weak side to cover him. Got to be in the hole, driving hard. No one's in the hole. And that's Nick Kern, who's out of bounds. He was late getting there. You got to take away the basket first, force them to skip, and then you have to close out. Basket first, though.
1-point lead for VCU.
Tyron Lawrence playing the point guard, not his natural position. And again,
that's a tough pass.
Yeah, just not his natural position. But Trey Thomas is more of a shooter.
Wow. Oh! How about Watkins with the crossover, and the ball is going to be picked up by Vanderbilt. That would have been unbelievable.
I guess that bone bruise, I guess it feels good.
I think he's feeling good.
My goodness, that was a highlight for him.
Here's Lawrence. Splits the defense. Lawrence from the post. Doesn't get the angle. Melora Brown with the rebound. Thomas for 3. It's good.
That's what he does. But also, Melora Brown, that's what he's very skilled. Got the rebound, kicked it out. Best threes to get.
Yeah, we talked to Jerry Stackhouse about that today, about his bigs. He said both key bigs are excellent passers. Talk about an excellent pass. DeLoach was able to thread the needle on the bounce pass.
It's so funny that Vanderbilt went over that in their shoot around.
Right.
Easier said than done. Great pass, and there it is.
Here comes Jackson.
It's not a natural point guard. You see Jerry Stackhouse get Magnan back in the game right away.
Each team with 6 turnovers. 11:57 to play here in the first half. It's a 2-point lead for VCU. How about this defense?
Go down the back, a little drop, a little backdoor pass to Mr. Jackson. The Rams are running right.
It's been very entertaining so far. It's a 2-point lead for VCU. You know, we talk about VCU being built on defense. Well, tonight, each team has turned the ball over, but VCU, they average nearly 19 per game, which is tops in the Atlantic 10.
I mean, when you get a chance to get that many takeaways, the thing that's perplexing to me is that they don't score more points, particularly in transition and, more importantly, points off turnovers. It's been a struggle for them, and we talked to Mike Rhodes, and Mike Rhodes says, you know, that kids just don't understand how to make the right basketball plays. They got the right players, right? And you saw Jeff Jackson getting that steal and getting the left. Those are the kind of takeaways they need to do to convert off those turnovers. But especially playing in here, Tom, you get turnovers, it's tough to beat them in here.
Yeah, Michael talked today of just about players playing less mechanical. Wow, how about that? Magnan going right to the rim and laying it in.
Again, I'll take that, him driving to the rim. Obviously, someone needs to challenge him a little bit more there instead of him driving and kicking the open three-point shooters.
Played 3 years at UC Davis, scored over 1,000 points. Shriver for 3. That one too strong. And Thomas with the rebound, and Vanderbilt can take the lead with 11:25 to play in the first half.
Both teams are lucky they're missing assignments and missing shooters. Studi and Shriver should be found and marked at all times. Never should be open.
That's Lee Dort up top. Very talented freshman from Texas. Smith to the basket, and he's knocked to the floor by Shriver.
Tom, you got to look at the future. That was freshman to freshman. That's what they're looking for. They're so excited about this recruiting class. Great job by the Commodore staff and Jerry Stackhouse.
Yeah, Colin Smith, who scored over 1,500 points in high school. You can see the body on him as a freshman. He'll go to the free throw line. 3 of 8 so far. A little too strong.
A young freshman like this playing in this atmosphere, right? This isn't high school. Right? It's the reason why they call high school boys basketball. They call college men's basketball. Game is here today playing against Siegel Center. You told me the band was loud, though. I'm waiting for the band.
Band's loud. Band is loud. They're being conservative.
They're being conservative.
Second shot is good by Colin Smith. 1-point lead for Vanderbilt. Smith is out of Dallas, Texas.
Shout out to the Lone Star.
Yeah, Jerry Stackhouse talked about some of the regions around the country that have been good for Vanderbilt. D.C., Texas, he even said Minnesota. Johns bounce pass to DeLoach. DeLoach from the baseline, no good, but he gets his own rebounds. It's going to be a hand-checking foul on Dort.
Yeah, that's very important. Again, they have a small pool. Vanderbilt is an academic school. I actually worked at Vanderbilt once upon a time, and sometimes it can be very difficult. You have to be very creative when you want kids that are academically inclined. I hate to say that, but that's how it is in college basketball.
Traveling violation on Johns. It's 7 turnovers now for VCU. So they're forcing 7, but they're committing 7.
Vanderbilt, when they played last year, forced 22 turnovers in that game and still they scored 37 points.
It is a very good defensive team, Vanderbilt. Ansong bobbled it, got it back up, goes to the corner for Smith for 3, short. But here come the Rams. Watkins sidewinding up the basket, just throws it up. And he's going to go to the free throw line. I think he's fortunate on that one.
Yeah, but that's the way they like to play. They like to push the ball up the floor. Watkins, who's not a three-point shooter, this is his game. He's super athletic, he's long, and he gets up and down the floor. All
right, so is that one of those spots what Mike Rhodes talked about with us today, where Baldwin is open off the wing? Do you go to him or do you attack?
You know what? If they're retreating and they don't look like they can get a charge, they're not positioned to take a charge, you got to attack. He's a 6'7" athlete. This is the way he scores.
He makes the first one. CBS Sports embraces authentic stories. Share yours at #MyNativeStory.
But you're right, though. Jump stop, off 2 feet, get his balance under him and go up and finish strong, and maybe that's an and one instead of having to go to the line and make 2.
Watkins makes both free throws. 15-14, VCU on top.
Just cannot be afraid in pressing situations. When I was a player many moons ago, we played against the Georgetown press. Coach Massimino, God rest his soul, said you have to want the basketball in pressure situations. Against VCU, you cannot be afraid.
Here's Smith, shot clock at 5. Cut off by Watkins. Tough shot, knocked away. Smith gets it back. Shot clock does not reset because it didn't hit the rim. And there's a turnover forced by VCU.
And it just looked like VCU has like 8 guys on the floor right now. Again, as a freshman, you cannot spin in the lane like that. You got to drive and you got to kick the open players. See right here, the spin move, you can't do that. As soon as you turn your back, someone's coming from behind you. Just a freshman mistake there. You got to drive to kick. You have to drive because they're coming like bees to honey, and you got to kick it to the open man.
The turnover so far for Vanderbilt. Baldwin left side of the lane, pull-up jumper, no good. And an easy rebound for Dort.
Ace being very aggressive, thinks he can score on the smaller Manyan. Trying to get back into the flow. Been out 4 games.
I got to tell you, Magnon moves a lot better than I thought he would against Baldwin. I know he's a transfer from UC Davis, but he moves pretty well.
Yeah, they brought him for a reason. When he comes in, he's really, really, really tough defensively.
A little backside help here.
Yeah, a little backside action right there. Good job there by Ace Baldwin. I mean, just very smart player. This is what he brings to the program with that help side defense. So one thing to talk about is the other thing to actually go out there and do it and convert it.
Magnon will take the inbounds across midcourt. Shot clock was at 15 when they started this.
So watch the pick and pop.
Magnon right to the rim, lays it in.
Yeah, it's a communication breakdown there, especially when Study's in. That's the problem you have. Are you going to switch? Are you going to hedge on the screens? Because they'll set up a back screen if you do for Studi to get wide open. Good coaching there by Jerry Stackhouse.
With that 6 lead changes, this was the 6th.
Again, Brandon Johns caught in no man's land, and then even getting down to the hoop just far too easy. But Wild's got to be there. He's got to try to shot challenge or something. Can't allow him to have an unmolested layup to the rim. But great job by Magnon just taking advantage of it, and he's super quick too, Tom.
So Johns to the free throw line. First one is good.
What an addition Johns is, right? Think about what Mike Rose said about him. Talking about the kid played in the Elite 8, just a super kid. And he even said this is probably the happiest he's been since he's been playing college basketball.
Yeah, he said that playing for VCU and playing for these guys is the most fun he's had. And they said since he arrived here, he's been a great leader. VCU now 7 of 8 for the free throw line. Leading it by 1, 7 lead changes. Thomas looking for Dort. Dort along the baseline, sweeps it right open for 3. No good. And Dort drops it out of bounds.
Well, Dort, just one of those freshmen, just a big body. He's going to be a very good player. Trying to get his hands on that nice hammer pass on the baseline to Jordan Wright. So again, seeing some shades of some really, really good players in the future for the Commodores.
Banks gives it to Baldwin. Baldwin thought about a 3. Back to Banks. Long range 3. Short off the side of the rim. And Dort with an easy rebound.
Commodores will give that up, a contested 3 from that distance. They want to keep them out of the lane.
Thomas way downtown. No good. Dort, little push from behind.
VCU does a good job of keeping you out of the lane. They force you to make threes. Again, they're excellent at taking away the three-point shot. And if you can't get second shots on them, it's going to be very difficult to score. And I'll add this time, if they can get you to shoot long threes and they can get out and get runouts, that just fuels their offense.
See, DeLoach is at the scorer's table. He's going to come in for the shooter. Diaz in. As Dort will take a seat. Fortunately for VCU, they're getting to the free throw line because they have no field goals in the last 4 minutes. That's a tough one. Right with the rebound.
Yeah, one thing about the Rams, there's no shortage of athletes. They're going to keep bringing them in and bringing them in. And as Mike says, he's got to keep developing them because they're good players. But you got to be able to score the basketball. Great defenders. The game is still called basketball. I know the World Cup's going on right now, but it's not soccer. Got to score the ball.
7:46 to play here in the first half. This game has gone back and forth. Little Zeb Jackson into the open floor.
Yeah, he's definitely doing his thing, Mr. Zeb Jackson, all the way from Michigan. But my man for the transfer from UC Davis all the way from out west.
7 lead changes so far, 4 ties. The largest lead was Vandy on top 6-1. You know, college basketball has been obviously hit by the transfers, but there have been some impactful ones this year.
That certainly have, and you talk about Tyrese Hunter. He was at Iowa State. You see right there that flip-flop with Jaron Holmes, and he's great for Texas. They're number 2 in the country. Jaron Holmes got that big win. He had a great game, had 22 against Carolina. And then it's just, again, at the end of the day, there are a ton of kids out there that are making major impact.
Ezra Magnon was one of them. He came from UC Davis. Brandon Johns came from Michigan for VCU. And as Jerry Stackhouse told us today, he said, listen, I'm okay with the transfer portal because if somebody leaves my program, I want the ability to go out and fill that spot with somebody else.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, here's the thing. You just have to accept it. You just have to accept it. We talk about transfer again. Tristan Thompson, a kid, Tristan Newton from East Carolina, scores 15 a game, then goes to UConn, gets a triple-double. You know, stuff like that. Like, you can't really fathom that could actually be the case. And what I like for coaches to do, instead of being upset about it, embrace it, because if you lose one, you can get one. And that's just the world we're in. To fight it makes no sense unless the NCAA comes up with new mandates that says that, you know, which they're doing right now, giving them time, the coaches time to adjust. But at the end of the day, it's the world we live in. It's like free agency every year. You know, you got a different. You know about that baseball.
Absolutely. VCU forces another turnover. That's 8 turnovers. Watkins hands it off to Baldwin. Baldwin slipped to the floor, is able to get it to Deloach. Shriver was cutting back door. Instead, he goes to Watkins, who can't convert.
Can't convert, but again, they're getting that backdoor pass. And was a little bit lucky there. They worked on that and worked on that, but they're still getting it.
Thomas for 3, and no good. And Deloach with a rebound. That was an aggressive one.
Thomas wide open, got to knock those shots down. He's got a few now, knock his first one down. Look at Ace Baldwin just working that ball screen, snaking.
Well, he got a man there to clean it up. Deloach is able to touch it in. 3-point lead for VCU.
And so you got to almost go under the ball screen with him and force him to make a 3, because once he gets to the lane, you have to help. Now you can't box Deloach and Johns out, sprinting to the rim.
Magnon assessing. Studi for 3. It's good. He's got 3 threes.
I was waiting on that play. They run that, watch it on tape, they run that play a million times. And you know it's coming. That little diagonal pin down. Not what he does.
Yeah, Watkins trying to answer, and a foul on the floor.
Yeah, just a drive or drop pass, they call that. Watkins missed another dunk, getting to the rim. Got to finish that. If you can't dunk it, make the layup. And there's a big-time screen by Dia, a pin down to use those big bodies. They're like blockers. You set that screen. You got to stay attached at all times to Studi. There is zero reason to help off the field.
Josh Banks goes to the free throw line off the foul on Vanderbilt. It's no good. Front end of the 1-and-1. Studi with the rebound.
And there's just certain players, you know, you got to abandon your defensive principles for. Studi's one of those guys. You just stay with him the whole time.
Yeah, particularly when he's hot. Magnon, beautiful crossover, reverse slam, it's good. They worked on that at shoot-around today. Those little moves to try to get open under the basket.
Yes, they did. And here's what I don't understand. Again, Mike Rhodes is a much smarter coach than me. He shoots 33%. Why press up on him? He's fast. Force him to make a perimeter shot.
Baldwin, little bump, kicks it out. 3-pointer for Banks is good, and Banks cans it. 22-21, VCU is on top, 5.5 to play.
And you're trying to, again, go over the top of the screen and chase Ace Baldwin off. He's going to get in the lane, and if you have to help, a drive and kick opportunity is going to be there all game long.
9 turnovers for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, you get to see the drive there. Where is the help? Nick Kern's got to get there quicker. Should already be, again, as they say, the halo. And then here's Ace Baldwin doing what he does best, getting into the lane. See, Tyron Lawrence has to help for a second because they want to keep Baldwin out of the lane. But I'm of the mind, stunt, stay with the shooter, and force Ace Baldwin to make pull-ups.
Baldwin is out, none running the point. He and Zep Jackson will take those duties. Kern looking in for Deloach. Has it knocked away for a moment.
Those rights of physical presence.
And Shelby's going to be called for a little push out front, which will send Zep Jackson to the free throw line.
Both coaches are going to the bench. They're definitely going deep into the bench tonight. Shelby's been injured as well. He's getting some action. Another Dallas, Texas native. You always got to shout my Texas guys out.
That's right. Just in case you ever get back into coaching, so you can recruit them.
No, I'm retired. I like my. This is a nice, comfortable seat.
You're retired, right?
Tired. No more.
Jackson missed the first one. Second one is good. Zep Jackson, the transfer from Michigan. Vince Williams was an outstanding player from Toledo. Vince's mom and Zeb's mom knew each other. And Vince, of course, played here at VCU, now playing in the NBA. That's how Zeb first got a little idea that VCU could be a good fit.
Yeah, Vince Jackson was an unbelievable Ram. I really enjoyed covering him. And then for them to get Brandon Johns and Zeb Jackson from Michigan, a significant upgrade for the VCU program.
Shot clock down to 5. Lawrence to right. Right elbow jumper, no good. It was misdirected. Here comes Jackson with Deloach. Deloach wanted it again, and Wright steals it away.
One of those plays that Coach Rose is talking about. Just make the right play, be solid, not the home run play.
How about this battle? Nobody wants the basketball, or everybody wants it. Kern, one-on-one, cross it over. He'll pull it out. That was smart. Shriver thought about a 3, steps to his right.
Bad shot. Yeah, bad shot. Shriver wanted a foul there, but again, make another pass. You were open for a second. They did a great job of closing out and taking it away.
Under 4 here in the first half. Studi, step back 3, good! That's 4 threes in this first half.
I'm telling you, his eyes lit up like Christmas trees when he saw number 4 guarding. There was no way that Deloach could guard him, and he knew it. Sure, they'll talk about that at halftime. You just cannot. I mean, he's the number 1 guy in the scouting report.
I mean, he's shooting over 50% from beyond the arc this year.
That's just a lack of attention to detail. That's all that is, and I'm sure Mike Rhodes will discuss that at halftime.
15 left here in the first half. Nunn puts it on the deck. Soft pass to Deloach, and Deloach is fouled going up. Well, Studi has found himself a niche and a spot.
No question about it. It seems like people are miles away every time he catches the ball. You leave him open. It is a Curry waiting to happen.
1-point lead for Vanderbilt with 3:09 to play here in the first half. It's been an entertaining first half so far. Coming up on AT&T 5G at the half. We'll go back to the studio with Ashley Shamady, Renee Montgomery, Steve Latvis, and John Rothstein standing by to get you caught up with everything going on around the world of college basketball. All right, so we expected that Miles Studi would get some looks. He's gotten some looks.
He certainly has. You're talking about 7 3-point shots made against Temple. And then you can't, again, you see Brandon Johns just late. And they're miles away from him again. Another guy just late getting to him. Attention to detail is not there. Should be red alert. He's probably the most dangerous player on the floor, and he is making them pay every single time they leave him open.
Yeah, so he has 4 threes tonight. So he's 23 of 43 for the season. That's better than 50%. Now out of this timeout, VCU trails it by 1. Deloach will go to the free throw line. There's been a big difference in free throw shooting in this first half. VCU 8 of 12, Vanderbilt 1 of 2. Make it 2 of 3.
You got to credit VCU for playing without fouling. Playing defense without fouling, which is also what makes you an elite defensive team. But again, getting back to Miles Studi, Jerry Stackhouse has done a good job of putting guys in the NBA. Aaron Nesbitt. Now you got Scottie Pippen Jr. and Miles Studi looks like a guy that could play in the NBA if he can shoot the ball like that with his size.
11 lead changes in this first half. Magnon covered by Baldwin. That's been an excellent matchup tonight here in this first half.
Magnon's definitely taken on the challenge of playing against Ace Baldwin.
I think we're going to get a foul on DeLoach. Nope, it's Jaden Nunn. That's his first. 15 fouls, so the shot clock at 20 as Vandy will inbound. If you're Vanderbilt, you're wondering where Liam Robbins is. Well, their starting center has 2 personal fouls. He got them early. That's why he's on the bench. Lawrence in the paint, off the glass, no good. Shot clock does not reset because it didn't hit the rim. Melora Brown. Oh, feeds Magnon, and he's fouled going up. I think they're going to say goaltending. Yep, that's what it is. No foul, it's goaltending. Count the bucket.
Melora Brown's so skilled. That's what he brings to the table. He's a pretty good finisher inside. He can make post moves, but he can drop some dimes as well.
26-25. Vanderbilt is on top.
Jaden Nunn's been pretty quiet. Good job of keeping him in check, coming off his career-high game. So good, so versatile.
Johns.
Yeah, somebody's got to be there to take a charge, driving from the top of the key at that angle. Needs a little help.
And the steal by Baldwin into the open floor. Now he's fouled at midcourt. They won't count it, but it was pretty.
Got the crowd going. Yeah, just one of the best in the country. What was the #1 thing that he did wrong, Tom? You don't jump. No jump passes. Got to be tough with the basketball.
They'll send Baldwin to the line for 2. Rattles it home. We asked Mike Rhodes, we said, is there a time limit for Baldwin tonight? He said, no. If he's able to play, he's playing. And there hasn't really been a time limit.
Well, he gave us good reason why. He sees it. Usually they end up mad at you when you take them in and out. So
that is true.
Again, that's just a mark of smart coaching. You know, you understand the culture of kids now, and then you just adapt to it. If you're going to let them play, play.
Melora Brown has that knocked away from behind. They're going to call a foul on DeLoach.
That's what VCU likes. I mean, sometimes you get them with a steal and sometimes you don't. But those pokes from behind, they wear you down as the game goes on. Melora Brown does not want to be caught with the ball in his hands, dribbling it up against this pressure.
Graham Colton is number 22 for Vanderbilt. That foul is going to go against VCU and Jaden Nunn. So the shot clock, well, it's going to be a 1-on-1 opportunity.
Good call there by Jerry Stackhouse. They tried to run what they call a hammer pass, fake the handoff, and on the weak side there's a back screen. They called it a kill screen. VCU called it the kill screen, flare screen, and for Studi in the corner. But as you mentioned before, there was a foul on Tyron Lewis and put him on the line. Tyron Lawrence, I'm sorry.
But the 1-1 is good. Lawrence is 65% free throw shooter.
I'll give Vanderbilt credit. They've turned the ball over double digits, but they're still in this game. You know, it's a very tough place to play.
Yep.
And they've held their own, even though they've turned the ball over. You know what, you think about Jerry Stackhouse, just calm, cool pressure. We spent some time with him today. Seems like nothing shakes him. But
no.
If you play with Jordan and you score more points than him, not much is going to shake you, right?
No.
You think the kids know how good he was?
He said that the pictures are much clearer now than they were when he played, which he's right. Studi can't convert, gets it back.
That's what you want to make Studi do. Make him put the ball on the floor and try to attempt a circus shot like that.
And Lawrence has that rim out. Watkins with the rebound.
Watkins can shoot it from 3. You got to find him in transition.
Baldwin for 3. It's good.
That's VCU basketball at its best, sharing the basketball. You talked about on the break, making the right plays. Good job there by Jameer Watkins, dribbling and finding Ace Baldwin, who was wide open for the triple. Again, forces Studi. Good job by Deloach not fouling. Forced the circus shot. Again, advancing the basketball, finding the open player. Ball moves faster in the air than it does with the dribble. So credit Jameer Watkins for keeping his heads up and throwing it up to Ace Baldwin. Ace Baldwin is making a huge difference in this.
Absolutely. Mike Rhodes said when the guys found out on Monday there was a chance he was going to play. You can see the difference in the practice schedule. Malora Brown to the free throw line, front end of the 1-and-1, no good. Jackson with the rebound. The foul was on Deloach. That was his second. And we've got less than a minute to play here in the first half.
Look for Ace Baldwin to come off a ball screen here and look for one of those backdoor plays again to catch them sleeping.
Watkins on the deck. To the corner. Zeb Jackson for three with time on the shot clock. It's an air ball. And Trey Thomas with the rebound.
He's been in the teens from three. He's been struggling.
There's Thomas, has it knocked away, got it back. That's going to be a traveling violation.
But that's what they do. That's what they do. They force you to make plays. Thomas, who's a shooter, is forced to have to make a play, and there's just too many arms, too much length, too many athletes.
12 turnovers for Vanderbilt.
The Vanderbilt group trying to talk.
I thought they had an argument, though. I thought it may have been hit.
That's what happens again when you have so many athletes. They're accustomed to stealing the basketball. Sometimes the refs, that's what they see. This is just normal.
10 seconds left. Baldwin. He'll check up a three. It's good. Around the rim, the largest lead so far. Lawrence trying to answer, and an offensive foul.
Ace Baldwin's getting the crowd going. That's the way VCU basketball is played. See, Ace Baldwin's just bobbing and weaving around that ball screen. There's nothing wrong with that hand. I don't know why. He's saying, why? Come on now, give me the foul.
And that is the end of the first half off the offensive foul called against Vanderbilt. It's a 7-point lead. It's the largest of the night for VCU. Ace Baldwin coming back from a wrist injury that caused surgery. Studi, threes early, but VCU got a few from Baldwin and a 7-point lead. We're at halftime to the New York studios after our break. Let's take a look at the first half statistics. You see that Studi has 12, Baldwin has 13. Those are the two leading scorers. Each team is at 44%, not only from the field but also from the floor. And meanwhile, the turnovers, 13 turnovers for Vanderbilt, 9 for VCU. And VCU's turned those turnovers into 13 points. All right, so we get set for the second half. Jeff Clark is wondering, wait, we got to get this baby rolling here. He's got the basketball.
Last year they played no scoring. There's a lot of scoring today.
Yep.
A lot of scoring and a lot of shooting.
Little different style. And by the way, Liam Robbins back in the game for Vanderbilt. He didn't play a whole lot in the first half because of 2 personal fouls.
The speed of this game is pretty quick. You see right now, exactly going to what you need to do, and Liam Robbins showing his impact on the game. But again, the drive by Studi, you have to help leave Liam Robinson wide open to get the putback.
VCU ended the first half on a 10-2 run. That's why they have the lead. It's a 5-point lead. Johns for three. High arcing shot is good.
Well, he's been looking for that touch for this game. 18%. And he's certainly capable of making them.
They're going to call that foul a none for VCU. Off to Johns three.
Right away, you're talking one of those shooters. It's coming off that ball screen, helping just for a second. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long to knock down a triple. That shot is just as easy as a layup for kids these days.
There's Robbins, may have gotten away with the travel. Goes to the baseline. They're going to get a foul on VCU on that. Nope, it's going to be an offensive foul, excuse me.
Walker stood it and took the charge. Like he's a little hurt there. Watkins, bone bruise, ACL tear in 21-22. I mean, he just gives his body up for his team.
Yeah, that's a good call by the officials. 8-point lead for VCU. 1 minute into the second half. VCU out of the Atlantic 10. Vanderbilt obviously out of the SEC. They played last year. A little home and home matchup. And Watkins is fouled on the floor. That's going to go against Jordan Wright, his second straight foul.
Yeah, pleading his case with far too aggressive, but you're talking about Jerry Watkins, 41% from 3. Very dangerous. They're going to force him to catch it and put it on the floor. But too aggressive there with a foul. So Coach Stackhouse just calm and collected.
Baldwin tries to thread the needle to Johns. It's knocked out of bounds by Vanderbilt.
Again, Ezra Magnon just got to stay under the basket. Can't allow the one pass you can't allow is under the basket.
Banks kicked that one. We got a 5-on-4. Little jump stop. Count the bucket.
Well, that was interesting on the drive. You see Robbins tries to get there. It looked like he puts his hip into the situation instead of just staying vertical right there, right at the end, that hip. You see, sometimes, Tom, you're better off just letting him have the layup. Right? You've been out of the game the whole time in the first half. Just let him have the layup and get to the other end. You're more important on the floor, even though you're trying to do the right thing.
Well, this is now an 11-point game. Largest lead of the night for VCU. They've got 13 points from the free throw line. Jordan Wright for 3, short. And Deloach will peel the rebound off the baseline.
And that's exactly what they want. If I'm Jordan Wright, again, he is capable of making a shot, catch it, throw it opposite, but drive the ball, punish them for pressing you.
Deloach working against Robbins. Got a hand in his face. That was good defense by Robbins.
Yeah, there was good scouting. I remember the scouting report. Brent Scott, the assistant, said he's going to turn and spin over his left shoulder. Exactly what he did.
In fact, Jerry Stackhouse said give him some space like that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Ball out of bounds. Be Vanderbilt basketball. 20 on the shot clock. Colin Smith comes in. Wright checks out.
Yeah, Wright's had a tough one thus far. He's a great kid. Last year, SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Must be a pretty good kid, right?
I would think so. He was the first commit for Jerry Stackhouse. Magnon slices right to the hoop.
He is so fast. I mean, I would keep running that action as much as I can. Force Ace Baldwin to play some defense.
Banks. That's going to be an offensive foul on Deloach. That'll be the third on Deloach.
There's no way anybody can get there. So fast. You were fast like that once upon a time, weren't you?
Yeah, for about 5 seconds. Laval checks in for Deloach. Here's Magnon again. Switches hands, tries to get it out.
You see, again, Laval and Johns are talking about the communication. Had him open in a corner, coming right off the screen. Johns just gets holding there. Somebody's supposed to be there. Not sure what the rotation should be, but a missed opportunity.
If you're Magnon, should you have just taken that up against Watkins?
I mean, he had a pass open in the corner. It was just an errant pass, and Watkins, he can knock that down. Very dangerous three-point shooter.
Here's Magnon. Ball is deflected out of bounds by Watkins.
They just don't give you anything, right? you miss, you got a chance to get a layup, and Watkins just trails and sprints and knocks it out of bounds. Testament to Mike Rhodes and the culture that he's built at VCU. Wham tough.
Colin Smith will inbound. Magnon up top, covered by Baldwin. Again, it's been a good matchup tonight. Robbins posting up. Whistle blows, and that foul is going to go against VCU. It'll be Laval's first foul.
Yeah, Liam Robbins, freshman, going right at him every single time. He's going to try to go at him. That should be an advantage for Liam Robinson.
Yeah, Lawal was trying to get position, and he just watched Robbins roll that off the side of the rim.
Yeah, he should have put it off the glass. He had an easy layup.
Here's Baldwin. And Baldwin, that's a tough shot.
Great defense, though. Tough shot, great defense by Magnon. Give him some credit there. You think about it, might be a little chess match here between Ace Baldwin and Magnon, because I really like them going at each other. Maybe he's the missing ingredient to get Vanderbilt going here.
Robbins goes through the timeline, gets control, tries to slam it home, and he's fouled by Lawal.
But Tom, don't you get the sort that Vanderbilt's out of sorts?
A little bit, yeah.
The feeling, you know, the bigs are handling the ball. It's almost like they're getting it across half court.
Well, Robbins to the free throw line, 62% for the year, makes the first one. He originally started his career at Drake, played 2 years for Drake, and then 1 year at Minnesota, second year for Vanderbilt. Averaged 11 per game at Minnesota, and he makes both free throws here.
Yeah, so skilled. I really like his game. He's got a step back fadeaway. He can actually pick and pop and shoot threes. Now, you won't get that shot against this VCU defense, but you see Vanderbilt going into the 1-3-1 zone. And they got the big fella in the middle.
And Watkins is going to go to the free throw line for VCU.
Vanderbilt just missing a step tonight. Just missing a step. They got to get themselves going, playing against a team that presses up and down. And maybe they're a little bit frustrated, right, because of the way that, you know, they've been punching them out by VCU. But they just got to stay the course, and make some shots. But more importantly, not turn the basketball over.
And Watkins missed the first. And now free throw number 2.
Vanderbilt, as I mentioned early in the game, is just one of those jobs that's really tough to get players. Credit Jerry Stackhouse for bringing in 2 top 25 recruiting classes. Now you got to grow. There's growing pains that come with that. You got to figure it out. And playing against tough teams like VCU or a good marker. Somebody's got to come to the basketball. Can't be standing flat foot. Leave Magnon on the island by himself.
Robbins wanted it along the baseline. Magnon saves it along the timeline. 4 minutes into the second half.
See that hedging that ball screen and going under now.
Yeah, Robbins gets deep. He gets the roll too. Mike Rhodes said that there was a little concern about him getting too deep, which is any big man.
That was good offense. Come off the ball screen, dive him, throw it back, throw it in. High-low action. It's open. Especially if it's on the same side with Studi, because you have to honor him and you can't help.
Baldwin leaves it for Johns and a traveling violation. So, hey, Vanderbilt, as we go into this timeout, it's a 2-possession game, 42-36. Can they crawl a little closer? We'll find out when we get back.
That's a pretty nice school, too. Been there, done a couple of games there. Really nice. San Antonio's a nice city.
Well, speaking of Texas, you just saw Colin Smith out of Dallas, Texas. All right, so pressure here by VCU. You see Johns. He's up top of this press. Now it's man-to-man. Studi to the corner. Three-pointer, no good, short. Johns with the rebound. That's part of Colin Smith's evolution, is that he gets the ball a lot of times. He doesn't look, he just shoots, because he's been a shooter his whole life.
He has, and you got to realize time and score right out of the timeout. Again, I'm sure Jerry Stackhouse wants them to attack, but that is exactly what VCU wants you to do out of their press.
A traveling violation. That is the 12th turnover for VCU. Zeb Jackson checks in for the Rams.
I mean, T-Mac, you would think the way this game is going, Vanderbilt will be down a lot more, but VCU's turning the ball over as well.
See the turnovers for both teams. Magnon to the corner. 3 from the corner, no good. And the rebound is loose. Baldwin comes out of it with it.
Well, Tyron Lewis has been scoring the last 3 games, but I don't understand that shot. Shot fake, drive the basketball, get into the lane.
He's going to be called for the foul.
got the game. It's 14 and change left. You got it to 6. Let's take a good shot. Not that you can't make it. Let's take a good shot. Let's get him in the bonus. Get to the foul line. As he's coming out of the game there, I just thought that was tough shot selection.
All right, so for the first time tonight, Melora Brown and Robbins in the game at the same time. So if they get into the offensive end, you may see some high-low. Johns up strong, no good, gets it back.
You're right, they may do some high-low action, but both bigs in there couldn't get an offensive rebound in that specific situation. And Ace Baldwin makes him pay off the ball screen. No hedge. Forget about it. There's no way anybody can guard him.
44-36. It's an 8-point lead. Baldwin with 13 points.
That's that high-low action you were talking about right there.
If they try to run it again. Magnon cut off. He's in a little bit of trouble. That foul's on Baldwin. This is a beautiful shot for Baldwin.
Yeah, you see coming off, there's no one there to help off the ball screen. So it's just an easy Sunday jump shot. He refuses the ball screen, which he doesn't use it. But again, as they say, the trappers don't foul. They don't get the steal. You trap him and then let the interceptors get the steal.
By the way, let me correct that. They gave it to Watkins. That's his second foul. Here's Robbins down low to Melora Brown, and he doesn't get it to roll. Gets his own rebound. Goes up, blocked by the bottom of the rim, or bottom of the backboard.
You know what I call that? Athletes. Athletes. It's long and athletic.
Watkins pull-up jumper. It's good. Feeding to his right. Lead is back to 10.
I still like that big lineup. Just got to take their time. Right? They're getting the ball point-blank situations. They just got to make the layups. But you know who's been quiet? Studi. They've done a great job on Studi. He hasn't even gotten a shot off.
Thomas, his three. It's good. Little catch and release.
Yeah, you're talking about a kid who's made 84 threes the first 2 years of it. He can really shoot the basketball.
Bothered by a knee injury. Each team now with 6 threes. Baldwin from 17. He rims it around.
Again, he's yo-yoing off the screen. Liam Robinson's in a drop situation, means that he's just backpedaling back. He's not coming up and hedging. And it's going to be hard because running Magnon off those screens is going to be tough from the guard, Ace Baldwin.
17 points for Baldwin. The answer, Studi open.
2 words, count that. Like a pool player from the corner pocket with his eyes closed.
So now each team with 7 made threes.
And give Jerry Stackhouse credit. Come off the ball screen. Put the big fella Robbins in the middle. He's a very willing passer.
Baldwin right to the rim. Reverse layup, no good. Again, it's a 2-possession game. Look for Studi. Instead, Magnon, reverse layup. That was a lot of torque on that reverse layup.
He's got a jump stop. He's just launching himself into the land of the Giants, and it's hard. It's the circus shots.
Under 12 to play.
A good switch right there on Ace Baldwin.
That foul is on the floor on Studi. 11:49 to play here in the second half. It's a 6-point VCU lead. Back here in Richmond, Virginia. So VCU looking for some points. They're getting it from Ace Baldwin tonight. Defensively, they've been sound, but points per game, 326th in college basketball. Look at all those other numbers. Now tonight, points off turnovers. They have been there for VCU.
They have, and that's 16-8. They double up the doors, but at the end of the day, and there's also another factor, they've been playing great defense, but fast break points is another reason. 6-0 fast break points. So as they're struggling to make threes, right, as they're struggling to half court. Now, one of the biggest bright spots is that guy right there, that highlight, is Ace Baldwin. He has been a supreme difference.
And give Vanderbilt credit. They turned the ball over 14 times in the first half. The Commodores have only 1 turnover in the second half, and we're 11:49 to play in this game.
Yeah, we're in zone now. The only thing I would say about the Commodores, I'd like to see the shot selection a little bit different. Let's try to find Studi. I guarantee you, Jerry Stackhouse has talked about that at the timeout. They're big.
Schreiber for 3, no good. Magnon rebound on the weak side. He and Studi have combined for 25 points. part of that, the rest of the team with 17 is that Robbins was in foul trouble in the first half.
And you got to punish them. If they're going to put Malora Brown on the perimeter in the zone and he's closing out, you got to shot fake and drive the ball and punish them for that.
Studi cut off up top. Shot clock at 5. Thomas along the baseline. Shot clock at 4. Thomas step back jumper short. And a foul is called after the shot was heading toward the rim.
You see Mike Rhodes saying he's flops. They kicked his legs out. But you know what? Zeb Jackson just got overzealous playing defense. Just no reason to foul him. Just go straight up. Again, he launched at him. You got to give him room to come down.
Yeah, you do. That's a good look right there, too. So it's a 2-shot foul.
Trey Thomas makes these 2 free throws. This is a 4-point game.
Yep. Well, he makes the first one. Vanderbilt now 6 of 8 for the free throw line of this game.
When I was saying earlier, Tom, I said Stackhouse was just sitting there being cool. Again, just settle your team down, and now it's a 4-point game. If the coach panics, the team's going to panic. And he's played enough big games where we know he's not going to panic for sure.
No. Dressed to the nines, as always. Making Dean Smith proud, as he said.
Vanderbilt a little bit pressing around, going back into the zone. Love that look. Force them to make shots from the perimeter.
They asked for a lot of help in the zone, too. That's what they worked on at shoot-around today. Kern with 5 on the shot clock. Schreiber for 3. It's an air ball.
Yeah, great possession there. Good change of pace.
Again, the 2 bigs in the game at the same time. Robbins and Malora Brown. Brown is in the corner to the left of Thomas. Here's Robbins. Studi step back 3. It's good.
And I want to think about not trapping Magnon, because all he's doing, they're slipping the big fella, and he's turning, making passes. Liam Robbins has been a difference. He's now made 2 assists to Studi.
This is an 8-0 run for Vanderbilt.
There's no question about it. Mr. Studi with the assist. Step back from the corner pocket. Number 10 with a triple.
It's an 8-0 run for Vanderbilt. Down by 1 with a 10-11 to play here in the second half. And Liam Robbins made a difference there, Chris Walker.
Yeah, Tom, VCU's going to have to think about what they're doing. You see as they go through the ball screen here, they're doubling Trey Thomas right here as he comes off, stop it right there. Now he has shooter. Liam Robinson is a willing passer, right? You got to think about right there, pass right away now. Again, Studi made an unbelievable shot, but there was a possession before, too, where he was wide open. So if you have a passer like Liam Robinson who's really, really good at finding people with his head open, you got to think, should you be trapping Trey Thomas? But here's the other thing, you got to play Trey Thomas live. He's knocked down 2 triples.
Right.
So give Jerry Stackhouse credit. He's put people in places to make them effective.
Studi is 6 of 7 from beyond the arc in today's ball game. That makes him, and this is remarkable, I think, that makes him 25 for 35 or 45 on the year. 25 for 45 on the year.
I'm telling you, when guys shoot the ball like that, you got 3 letters, P-R-O. When you shoot the ball like that, I'm telling you, when you got a kid with his size, those are the kind of players that, again, Jerry Stackhouse, the pro scouts know Jerry Stackhouse knows players. A kid like that who can shoot the ball is very, very, has a very good chance of playing at the next level. That is unbelievable.
Here's DeLoach, has it blocked away from the side by Malora Brown with a call foul on Malora Brown.
Yeah, I'd like to see Malora Brown. Somebody, if Jaden DeLoach puts the ball on the floor, someone take a charge. Someone should be right there getting ready to take a charge. Right? You got to slide over quicker, pre-rotate. You got to have your head on the swivel. You got to see that a lot sooner. A center should not be driving from the top of the key and getting all the way to the rebound without anybody stopping him.
Well, DeLoach missed the first. Scoring drought is over 3 minutes now for VCU. Malora Brown, you mentioned the charges. He took 23 last year. So now the second shot. And he missed the second one. Malora Brown with the rebound.
Oh, Vandy got a chance to take the lead.
They sure do.
What a game.
We've had 13 lead changes in this ball game. This is the closest the game's been since 149 in the first half. Malore Brown wants it. Robbins looks in. Robbins for three. No good. Malore Brown with the rebound. Putback is no good. He doesn't get it to roll. He got it again, and it's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, but he's so tough inside. I mean, he's just a workhorse. Undeterred. See that jump shot there. Liam Robbins could make that shot. And give VCU credit not fouling. Nick Kearns, he's in there fighting. And so is Shriver, but Malore Brown's got to finish that, or at least get fouled.
Studi has it stripped away by Kern, and he falls out of bounds. And he zips the basketball down the hall, and it may have gone outside.
But great handle. That is how you play a shooter coming off the screen.
Look at the reaction from Kern.
Look for Studi coming to the corner.
They go up top for Malore Brown. Still plenty of time on the shot clock.
Good defense by Ace Baldwin.
Robbins.
Jump hook.
And a pushing foul called on Deloach. That's going to send Robbins to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. And that's 4 fouls on Deloach.
But think about it, Tom. We talk about that big lineup, right? That big lineup. Yep. He's wide open. You see him waiting. Good job. You think about Malore Brown. That's almost like a high-low situation. They're playing catch with each other, and they're tough to guard. Two big, skilled SEC centers.
Yeah, one's 7 feet, the other one's 6'10". The 7-footer goes to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. And he makes the first one. We're tied at 48.
Wow, what a comeback. The resiliency. Like I said before, I watched Jerry Stackhouse. We talked to him before the game. Just calm, played in a lot of games. And Mike Rosa is exceptional coach as well. But how about this? I've said before, they just struggle scoring, Tom.
Yep.
They just struggle scoring. Thank goodness that Ace Baldwin's playing tonight.
Well, this is a 10-0 run, and Vandy has the lead for the first time since they were up 26-25.
Yeah, they're going to need Brandon Johns to step up and make some plays here.
None for three. No good. Yeah, the rebound by VCU. Baldwin for three. Yes!
Makes it every time.
And now the steal on the opposite end.
Offensive rebound in town gets you every single time. You can't give people a two-shot game. Shout out to Nick Kearns right there for acknowledging the fact to find the open shooter, and then just negligent on the passing with Studi on the inbounds, and Kearns Jr.'s at the line.
Well, for Baldwin, it's his third career 20-point game. Kern makes the first one. Baldwin was injured in the Morgan State game. That was game 2. He was injured in the first half. He played the second half, even with a broken wrist.
Unbelievable.
Had surgery to put 2 pins in the wrist.
Baltimore kid, Tom. Just tough.
He is tough.
Baltimore tough.
Still a 1-possession game. That's a tough pass. Cut off by Kern. Baldwin to a cutting Lawal.
Oh, my goodness. Conversation with the rim.
And they turn it over again. An offensive foul on Robbins. I think Vanderbilt might need a timeout.
Yeah, just possibly. You see Coach Stackhouse let them play it out. You got that look on their face. They just got to settle down. But as I mentioned earlier, Tom, you got to want the basketball. You see this crowd starting to get into it. Havoc.
None. That was an alley-oop pass. I think he just lost it.
You see Coach Rose saying, you got to be kidding me. Settle down, high-low action.
Good catch by Robbins, and the finish.
Right back at you, Lawal.
And a technical foul is called, I believe, on Liam Robbins. Lawal into your living room. And then the answer on the opposite end, Robbins. Two-handed jam, and then eventually a technical. 3-point game. Well, back here at VCU, we've had a lot going on since we went into the timeout. Now, we mentioned that there was a technical foul called on Liam Robbins, but then Jerry Stackhouse, as we went into the timeout, he just absolutely lost it. He was going after Barton Lennox, one of the officials. He got one technical. There's Lennox, gave him a technical, and then he had to be held back by his team of coaches, and he went after Lennox again, and that's when Jeff Clark, the referee, gave him a second technical foul and ejected him from this ball game, which obviously you never want anything like the first technical, but you definitely don't want the coach being ejected in such a tight game, 54-51.
I mean, it was a fever pitch, just brewing, and it happened. Jeff Clark said, Liam Robbins said, on your head. He's tapping his head like that's to kids know. I dunked on you, and he got a taunting call, and then that just set Jerry Stackhouse off, and I think he said this, they're doing the same thing. That was one of the things I kind of read his word. He was not happy, and now they get 6 shots, I believe, Tom. As Jeff Clark said, what a tournament, man.
It's a 54-51 game, and I understand that Jerry was really upset.
Oh, my God.
Because I don't know if Robbins was asking out by tapping his head, or if he felt like he was fouled. It looked like he was fouled. But now Vanderbilt will watch as Ace Baldwin will go to the free throw line.
If you weren't on your seat before that, wow. Still 8 minutes to go. Vanderbilt's got to collect themselves and give themselves opportunity to win this game.
But you cannot underscore the fact that, as Baldwin missed the second one, you can't underscore the fact that, A, you're playing at home if you're VCU.
Right.
And you're sitting here and now waiting while Baldwin takes these free throws.
Yeah, I mean, just, again, as I said before.
Yeah, so this would be the second technical foul shot here, the second set, and now he's 2 of 4. So now he'll get 2 more. So Walk, you were right on by that. It's going to be 6 shots, as Jeff Clark told us, and we appreciate Jeff coming over and letting us know what was going on.
I mean, just again,
and the feeling for the officials was that Liam Robbins was signaling that he was hit in the head and wanted the foul.
Or, as I said before, and I don't know what happened, usually when they tap the top of their head, Tom, just so you know, that means they dunked on someone.
Right.
I dunked on your head. So he could have been saying he got fouled, or again, whether they misunderstood him or not, he got a technical foul, and now Jerry Stackhouse is inside.
All right,
it's unfortunate.
So, it's a 7-point game. It's a career high for Baldwin, 58-51. And now VCU gets the basketball, which could swing it even more.
Could swing it even more. You just got to bear. Hey, maybe this is something that energizes the Commodores.
Johns looks in. Johns tries to slip the pass, cut off, and a foul underneath. So let's go back to the Liam Robbins dunk. Now, this was an impressive play by Vanderbilt. Robbins, and he was hit there. There's no doubt.
That's exactly looked like he was saying he got hit on the head. Yeah, that's what he was saying. But you know what? I don't know. As I saw him, I don't know if he was saying, "I got you."
I think he. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
It could be either one.
Because Lawal had just dunked on the other end.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's competition, but the rules are the rules for a reason.
No doubt, and you don't want to incite anything, which is what the official felt. So Adam Mazzari is going to be the head coach right now, while Jerry Stackhouse is in the locker room, ejected from the game. There's Adam. He ran a lot of the shoot-around today. It's a 12-2 run for VCU.
Wow. They get their hands on every single ball.
And it's a 9-point game. Again, it was only a 3-point game when the technical fouls were shot by Ace Baldwin.
Yeah, but you talk about this arena. These fans, havoc.
Lawrence got everybody off his feet, and he's able to touch it off the glass.
Yeah, he's been great the last 3 games. He's finally got off the schneid. They just got to dig in and play some defense. This game is certainly well within the balance with 7 minutes of college basketball. A ton of time.
Here's Baldwin. He already has a career high. Trying to add to it. Nope. And a good, strong rebound by Tyron Lawrence.
Yeah, push the basketball so you don't have to score against the teeth of that defense. Got him right there.
Studi for three. Nope.
That would have been a big-time shot. Studi can't knock them all downtown.
No, I guess he can.
He's got to miss. He's actually human.
Robbins, by the way, is on the bench with 4 personal fouls. Baldwin trying to lead it in.
Great defense by Malora Brown. That was a senior right there.
And Thomas cut off by Johns.
Played in the drop, baited Ace Baldwin and caught him. Got the steal.
There's a push from behind by Watkins. The 1-and-1 opportunity. Now we mentioned that with Jerry Stackhouse in the locker room, Adam Mazzari is who's the associate head coach, takes over the reins. And again, he handled the shoot-around today. He handled the scouts.
And he's been there all 4 years with Jerry, so he was there from the start, so he knows exactly what Jerry wants to run. And again, unfortunate what happened. I really don't know what set Jerry off, and maybe it was the foul. And you know what? Here's the other thing. When you play against a team, I remember playing against Georgetown as a kid, they foul you so many times, the ref don't call. They just won't call every call. It'll be whistles all over the place. And that's what happens when you play against VCU. They're just not going to call everything. They foul every player out, Tom. They're just super aggressive.
Johns up top. Malora Brown made one, missed one.
All that being said, it's a 2-possession game.
Yeah. And it's been a very entertaining game, too. Watkins.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to be a foul on Malora Brown with Watkins going up.
Good offense with the DHO, the dribble handoff. You see him coming off. It's, again, hard for Malora Brown, number 42, to hedge. He's in a drop situation. When they move him from side to side, bigs, it's hard for them to keep up. And you got Watkins, an athlete, right-hand dominant, very athletic, going to the rim, very difficult to stop.
5 of 7 from the free throw line, make it 5 of 8. The Wall will check back in. Johns checks out.
The Wall's getting some good minutes tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, being very active, runs the floor. Very good athlete. And
second shot is good. 7-point game.
Got to attack this press. Yeah, you got to attack this press. Got to attack this press. They're in the bonus as well. Drive it to the rim.
Studi along the baseline, off the glass. He can make a 2-point field goal.
Like I said, they're in the double bonus. Drive the basketball to the rim. Leave it in the hands of the refs. Sometimes technical fouls, you never know. You know, coaches know their teams better than anybody, right? So Stackhouse, I don't know what happened that got him where it got him, but at the end of the day, they're down 5 points. Vandy's on the road. The pressure's on VCU. Vandy's on the road. They got nothing to lose here.
Watkins, a lot of dribbling going on. He turns it over.
Push it, push it.
Here comes the freshman Smith. Off the glass, no good, but he'll go to the free throw line. He'll get 2 shots. Lawal will be called for the foul.
We'll just drive into basketball. Freshman's got a good opportunity to go knock down 2 free throws and make it a 1-possession game. Basketball's so funny how momentum swings, right?
Yeah.
You think like all of a sudden they got 6 free throws. There's no chance of this team coming back with the coach in the locker room, and look what has just happened.
Yeah, and fortunate as Robbins checks in, Malora Brown checks out, that Ace Baldwin missed 2 of those free throws. Johns comes back in for VCU, so does Deloach.
40-minute game, 40-minute game. And sometimes it's easy to play on the road without pressure. Now again, VCU's on those teams, they just dog you. They just come after you like junkyard dogs. But Vanderbilt right now, they're playing with some poise.
Yeah, big time. 2 free throws for Smith, the freshman. As Ezra checks back in, Magnon.
And this would say so much about the Vanderbilt program for Coach Stackhouse if his team pulls this game off. There's still a lot of time left. They got a lot of work to do.
There's none. In and out. Robbins rebound.
Great defense by Thomas. He was beat for a second, slid back, contested without fouling.
Robbins off the high screen. Magnon from 17. It's good. It's a one-point game.
What you're seeing right now is the SEC flexing their muscle a little bit. They got some size. They have some very good players as well. VCU now, they have to come back with a big-time play.
And Baldwin can't convert. Vanderbilt can take the lead with 4 minutes to play.
Can't get mad. He's been making that shot all game.
Now they're going to get Deloach. We have so much intensity in this SEC Atlantic 10 showdown between VCU and Vanderbilt. You want to talk about an entertaining non-conference game? We got it for you. It's a one-point ball game. Offensively, Vanderbilt is on a 6-0 run to pull within one. For VCU, they do not have a field goal in its last 4 minutes and 41 seconds. Coming up next, we hope it's as good as this one. We're bringing more hardwood action from the DMV as South Carolina takes on GW. Keep it here on CBS Sports Network. Chick and Pete are standing by for that one. So here are some of the particulars of this ball game. Who do you like on this list there, Chris Walker?
You know what? How about this? Gregory Jackson, 17 a game. South Carolina, they're doing a good job right now, and they're playing at George Washington, new coach this year. Brandon Adams, James Bishop. The fourth, another opportunity for the Atlantic 10 to get a win against a quality SEC team. The league needs this if they're going to bolster their chances of getting multiple teams in the NCAA tournament when Selection Sunday comes around.
Yeah, I got to say, too, I mean, you think about Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt finished 19-17 last year, 7-11 in the SEC. This would be a good win for Vandy, too, against VCU.
And given the circumstances of what just happened, for them to come back as a tie ball game is absolutely amazing and a testament to the culture and the culture of their program. Give Jerry Stackhouse credit. He knew what his team needed.
Robbins missed the second one. He's 5 of 6 for the free throw line. We're tied at 61, and Vandy gets the rebound.
I mean, both teams are going to look at the free throw line, but think about this. Tie ball game, VCU's missed 11 free throws.
Yeah, they were hot in the first half. That's a tough spot for Magnon to give up his dribble.
Yeah, you can't pick his dribble up. Keep your dribble. You're the PG. Keep your dribble alive.
So 5 on the shot clock. Studi's going to check in. You got a play you like to get Studi open here?
I mean, I like Magnon getting the basketball, putting his head down and trying to get to the rim, and hopefully no one helps.
Oh, they go into Robbins. Lawal covers him. Shot clock at 3. Robbins spinning in the paint. Hard off the glass. No good.
Yeah, Robbins got to take his time, but it was 5 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense there by Lawal, though. Freshman's giving him quality minutes tonight.
Tied up at 61. Baldwin pull-up jumper short. Gets his own rebound. Watkins thought about a long-range 3.
He shoots 4.
Oh, and he's going to go to the throw line for 2.
I mean, I don't mind Watkins holding there, not pulling the trigger and trying to shoot it from distance, even though he's capable of making it, slowing it down and getting Ace Baldwin to the line. But you mentioned he missed a couple before. They've missed 11 for the game.
Well, the first one here is good. Magnon called for his 4th personal foul, by the way. So VCU retakes the lead, 62-61. Second shot. It's good. Nothing but net. 2-point game.
Vanderbilt's got to be tough. Keep in mind they're in the double bonus. Come hard to the ball. Hopefully VCU gets overzealous and puts him on the line and they don't have to score against his defense.
Thomas running the point with Robbins. Magnon off the handoff. Up top to Thomas, open for 3, gets himself set. It is no good, in and out. Wow, that was in.
He got a good look. Got a good look. They caught them in a switching situation. Caught him scrambling a bit. Thomas, you got to make him pay when you catch him in a situation like that. You know where the ball's going, right in this young man's hands. He's going to make the play.
Johns thought about a 3, instead slips it to Lawal. Off the glass, it's good.
Johns comes up lifting, but that shows his versatility to drop a dime. find a way to get Studi open.
Oh, Magnon lost control. Here comes Baldwin. Slips it to Watkins. Off the glass, no good. Vanderbilt players with 4 personal fouls. Lawrence, Magnon, Studi, and Robbins. Second shot by Watkins is good. He missed one, made one. 5-point game. Still 2 possessions. 2 minutes to play here in the second half.
We'll see what Magnon dials up. Cannot turn the basketball over. See if they can find Studi. They got Brandon Johns.
Studi, pull-up jumper is no good. May have gotten it deflected.
But Brandon Johns, again, showing his versatility. Great defensive. He's got big size, so he can bother Studi's shot. Just take your time, run some clock, get the ball in number 1's hands, and let him make a play.
Baldwin to a cutting Watkins, blocked from behind. Magnon, that's good defense there by Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it was just too much traffic. H probably should have pulled it out or pulled up himself.
Magnon going right to the rim, slips it to Robbins, count the bucket.
I mean, just when you think like you got the Commodores on their heels, and it may be a knockout punch, they come back with a play, and again, the catalyst is Mr. Magnon from California.
That's 4 fouls on Lawal. Deloach is out with 5. We know that. And now Robbins to the free throw line. Trying to make this a 2-point game.
No reason to press or anything like that. 2-point game. Timeout. Good job. Madison staying in the game.
That's 14 points now for Robbins. 1:13 to play here in the second half. What a tight ball game we've got. 2-point game. VCU is on top. 1:13 to play. Some of the impact players for today's ball game, and there have been a few guys. But look at Studi, 20 points, and Ace Baldwin, 26, a career high.
I mean, he gave it all up. You know, those 4 games. He gave you 4 games today.
Yeah, he did.
Really controlled this game. But I'll tell you this: even with him coming back and controlling the game the way he has, and they've been, keeping Studi at bay. Bottom line is, Vanderbilt still have a chance to win this game.
Right.
Give them some credit on the road.
And you saw Adam Mazzari, who's the associate head coach for Vanderbilt. He's coaching because Jerry Stackhouse was ejected from this game after 2 technical fouls here in the second half.
Question is, how are they going to guard the ball screen once they give the ball to Ace Baldwin? Are they going to be in a drop? Or are they going to hedge? I wouldn't go out. There's no reason to go out.
Under a minute to play. Baldwin right to the rim. Lays it in.
Yeah, I just wouldn't go out. There's no reason to do that. Keep Robbins back.
And Lawrence tries to answer it. His foul going up. 28 points for Ace Baldwin.
Yeah, there's no reason. And again, Studi's been doing a great job offensively, but defensively, you got to square him up. You can't allow him to get vertical and going downhill. But I don't like Liam Robinson coming up with the wall because he's not a pick and pop guy. Stay back. But, Ace Baldwin says, come on now, with the left.
All right, Lawal is done. That's 5 fouls on him. Nick Kern checks in. Lawrence to the free throw line.
If he knocks both these down, just look. Again, even if he doesn't knock, say he knocks one of them down, they're down 3. There's no reason to foul. Maybe play a little 2-day press and see if they'll turn it over and maybe shoot quick. At the end of the day, you play it out. You're going to get the ball back.
Second shot is good. It's a 1-possession ball game.
Yeah, there you go. Give a little pressure.
45 seconds.
Tom, the question is, how are you going to guard this ball screen? If Johns goes up now, he can pick and pop. I would still stay back, keep Liam Robinson in the lane, and force Brandon Johns to make a 3.
Yeah, Robbins is such a wide she at 7 feet tall.
Yeah, she can't change directions though. So stay back.
Yeah, a little help.
Now they played it the right way.
Shot clock is down to 5. Shot clock is at 4. Watkins. Watkins from the elbow. It's good. Somehow he made it.
Great shot by Javier Watkins.
makes, the world takes. Jameer Watkins, tough shot. Well, it's a 5-point game. VCU is on top with 16.8 to play. The timeout was called by Mike Rhodes to get his defense set. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but let's talk first about what Vandy needs to do here, down 5 with limited time left.
I mean, you got to get the ball to Magnon and get him in a driving situation, maybe a high ball screen, and try to get to the rim because they don't want to foul. But if someone happens to be sucked in, now they should never leave number 10. If someone happens to get sucked in, maybe you can get a 3, but you still have time to get a 2 and foul.
Well, for those of you tuning in for the South Carolina GW game, you'll be able to find it streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN as soon as it tips. And, of course, we'll get you there immediately after the conclusion of this ball game. All right, so now, and just to cover the defense for VCU, Mike Rhodes is pulling Kern back. He's not going to defend the inbounds. He's going to defend the guy that is going to eventually get the basketball in Magnon.
Yeah, he's not going to stop him from getting it, but again, you got to try to get it in as quick as possible to find Studi. They attached.
Little hedge by Johns. Magnon's caught. Studi, tough 3, not enough. Rebound by Johns. Now they got a foul. 1 second. Nope, that's going to do it. VCU from the Atlantic 10 has knocked off Vanderbilt from the SEC by a final score of 70-65.